In today's video, I'm going to ramble about The Thing, and I'm going to try to keep it short because there's so many implications, so many things happened around this time. And what I'm going to start with is this Arrested Development clip that I think of all the time when I run into something today and I'm like, man, I know life has never been perfect and life has never been easy, but you look at some stuff today and you're like, they don't make them like they used to. Man, this just isn't the same as it used to be, or this is just straight up stupid and I can't believe life sucks this bad right now. And you start thinking like, well, when in time did this not suck so bad? You almost always go back to the same point in time when life really started getting bad and when things really started spiraling out of control and when time really started speeding up. You see, the implications of this are endless.
As you may or may not know, Lindsay and I have hit a bit of a rough patch.
Really? When did that start?
Well, I don't want to blame it all on 9/11, but it certainly didn't help. But anyway, I need your...
Okay, so yeah, that clip, as they say, lives rent-free in my mind because it's just so accurate. Now, the things that I want to ramble about today, like I said, this video could be endless, so there's certain things that come to mind when I think of this event. And one of them is this, what you see with the people playing a part, I guess, is what I want to say. It exposes that there's people on the world stage that they know it's all for show, and they're willing to play certain parts. And so one part that many people play is the fool. And there's some people out there that they know that they're going to come off as foolish, allegedly, and they often get away with being truthful. And a really good historical example of this is that the fool was the only one who could get away with making fun of the king or the queen. And you would imagine that what they would be making fun of them with is very factual things. They would probably make fun of, I mean, the funniest jokes are ones that are true, right? You hear all the time about there's always some sort of truth to a joke. And yeah, sometimes the funniest stuff is stuff that's just true. Somebody's just pointing out the obvious in a funny way. Or caricatures, what makes them funny are the truths about them. Has anyone noticed today that caricatures, they're no longer funny? It's like an Instagram filter and trying to make people look good. And they're not really funny anymore. The whole point of a caricature is supposed to be taking something about you and just magnifying it. But it's not about being untruthful at all. A lot of times the funny caricatures, what makes it funny is how true it is. Anyways, remember after this thing happened and Gottfried was making some jokes and people were freaking out? I'm sure that Gottfried knows that this was a psyop, and that's why some people are okay playing the fool. They're okay being so outrageous in the normie's mind because they know it's all for show. And I think about this too when you hear about celebrities being Scientologists or whatever. Well, they're just playing a part. They have no problem joining a cult, and they're probably occultists at the end of the day, and they know if they join a cult they can gain earthly powers, and they know that their character is just that, a character on the world stage. So that's why somebody like who's the good Tom Cruise? That's why somebody like Tom Cruise would be fine joining Scientology. He's not joining Scientology. His character is joining Scientology, and they're okay with stuff like that. Similarly, they're okay with making jokes that the average person can't say. And they're not always canceled for this stuff because it allows other people to play off of that and do the how dare you thing. They love to do the how dare you thing. So it's almost like the fool serves a purpose where it allows other people, other club members, to show how much they care about this thing. And so in a way, they're kind of grateful that somebody's out there willing to play the fool so that everybody else can step in line and say, how dare you? I am so much better than you because I care about this thing. Because at the end of the day, it's all about getting people to care about these things. That's what the magic is, to get people to think about it and to care about it. And that's how they know that they can change the world, through people's emotions like that. Like, I know people in real life that anytime that they see 9/11 on a clock or something, they get triggered and they immediately start praying for the alleged victims of 9/11. And I think that that's where the magic is that they get people to do things like that. They want people's attention and worship idols on the world stage. They want people to idolize them, and they get power from that's magical. They run off magic. This world runs off magic, and that's a type of magic to get people to always think of something. And especially if they have strong emotions with it. Yeah, in my opinion, I don't think anybody died in 9/11. Maybe some people did get lung problems, but these people are poisoning people all the time and trying out experimental drugs on people with side effects where sometimes people do die from these things. And yeah, so sometimes psyops people can die, but I think in general, and this is a topic that, man, they're really afraid of people saying that people don't die in their psyops, because it's so important that people believe. The power of belief, it's all about that. They need you to believe. And when you don't believe that people died, that kills so much of the magic. And so yeah, I'll say, I'm sure that some people probably had lung issues and maybe it did indirectly kill people, but I think that the towers were empty on the day of controlled demolition. And it's honestly dangerous to say this type of thing, because it's so important that you believe. But anyways, to talk about people are willing to play the fool, people are willing to play the villain. That's why I have this image here of this Nikocado thing. I don't know if you know anything about that, but man, that was such a cringy, cheesy video. But people are out there that are playing the game and they want to play to be the villain. And yeah, it's not always, people love to hate. And so yeah, again, that's why people like Gilbert Gottfried, who knows if they were ordered to make a joke right away so that people could say how dare you, but inevitably they're still a part of the club. And I don't think that they truly like hate the person, and I don't think that he like lost any friends over that. It just gave them an opportunity to how dare you and show how much they cared about this event. Anyways, I don't know if that rambling made much sense. Why do they do these psyops? It all comes down to this trauma-based mind control. If they can create a traumatic experience in people's minds, it's much more easier. They can much more easily program people through trauma. And I guess I'll just say something personal. I'm not like trying to brag about this or anything, but maybe this helped me wake up from this. Or maybe the reason that I'm saying this is that I think that there's some people out there with spiritual awareness that they may not know about at the time. When this event happened, it really didn't affect me in a way that I saw my peers around me being affected. And maybe some of you can relate to this. And I of course believed it, even though it seemed weird. And now thinking back, it has that same flavor to it, the same exact flavor to it as certain personal psyops that people have done on me in the past, where it just feels surreal. It had that surreal feeling to it. And yeah, it didn't really make me that sad, because, well, and I could rationalize that away. Well, you know, tragedies happen all the time. Why do I have to feel more about this one? And it did feel like a contest. Who can show that they feel the most about this tragedy? It really becomes a contest for these baffos that are in the club, and they know it's all a psyop. They love to turn it into an acting exercise. And this whole world runs off of that. It seems crazy, but there's a big club out there, and they know about psyops. They know about Orange. They know about 33. But what they do is they play the part. They want to play a part and they want attention, and they want to be the biggest Bafo, either red club or blue, usually just one of those flavors. It's not usually the low-level Bafos that do their own thing and are individuals. They usually cling heavily to one side of the pendulum swing. Well, I've already said too much, honestly. And shout out to Aaron Dover, 9/11 no floors. Aaron Dover is the only person that I think you need to know about the thing itself. I agree completely that it was not an office building. That's why you don't see desks. That's why you don't see computers. That's why you don't see all sorts of office stuff in the rubble. That's why people are like, DEW, crazy weapons to vaporize the building. No, the building was easily vaporized because it was mostly empty. I 100% agree with Aaron Dover on that, and rest in peace if he's really dead. I'm going to end with this, which is my personal favorite example of predictive programming, and it comes from a show from the 90s growing up, Alex Mack, and maybe that's why this is my number one. I keep this one in my back pocket for predictive programming. Maybe you can share in the comments what your favorite predictive programming is. There's too much for one video.
Excuse me. My name is David Watt, and I work for the Paradise Valley Chemical Plant. We're doing a promotion where we meet and greet the teens of Paradise Valley, and then we give them a pair of new basketball shoes for free.
Free sneakers?
Well, yeah. And we'd like to invite you down to the plant today after school.
Can my mom come?
Sure she can.
Okay, we'll be there.
One more thing. All participants in this promotion have to have been in Paradise Valley on September 11, 2 years ago. Were you in town then?
Yes. Yes, I was.
How can you be so sure?
That today I wouldn't forget.
Well, we'll see you there. All participants in this promotion have to have...
And for context, yeah, that's just from an episode of Secret World of Alex Mack, and I think it speaks for itself. This was, of course, before the thing happened, and yeah, very, very much to me the one piece of evidence that stands out more than others. But there's hundreds and hundreds. Predictive programming, this event in particular, it seems like every Bafo out there knew that it was coming, and I still haven't heard any whistleblowers for, yeah, this is how I knew it was coming. I think that would be the most interesting. Where the people who are willing to step forward say, I'm a part of this stupid club, yeah, yeah, I knew ahead of time about that because there were whispers. I'm sure that there were whispers among the community. There's just way too much predictive programming out there that would be the most interesting new development in this story to me, is hearing somebody that says, I knew it was going to happen ahead of time because I'm a high-level Mason, or I'm a high... That, I mean, I still wouldn't trust them. Those are not the type of people that are very trustworthy, but it would at least be interesting. Well, I'm going to stop talking. God bless everyone.